Find someone who loves you like Desmond Bane loves using the backboard.
Glass.
Bro, it's off glass all game,
Glass.
bro.
Great
Like
stop.
everything,
Drop.
floater, off glass.
Glass.
Floater, off glass.
Glass.
Off glass. Scoop
Layup.
shot, off glass. Good.
Glass.
Glass, off glass. The Orlando Magic go into Detroit, win the group for the NBA Cup, and they defeat Detroit Pistons 112-109. Let's get to the box score. Desmond Bane, 37-8. Franz Wagner, 21-7. Anthony Black, first team dime. I fucks with you, 16-4-4. For the Pistons, Cade Cunningham with a triple-double, 39 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Tobias Harris had 18 points. Jalen Duren, 16-12. The Pistons fall to 15-4. The Magic improve to 12-8, fresh off the 10th spot in our power rankings, Kwab, and this is why they have turned the corner. It seems, well, obviously turned the corner. That's a lot. That's exaggerating.
They've been turning the corner.
They've
been playing really well.
Yeah, they're 10-4 in November. Desmond Bane is starting to play like he's worth 4 first-round draft picks. They're playing without Paolo Banchero, and that's a whole other conversation to have. I don't think they're better without him, but I do think they play a healthier style without him right now, that if he comes back and could kind of buy in, I think that raises their ceiling. But for now, they are looking to run at every single opportunity. They started this game off like terribly. It's like the opposite of the last time they played the Pistons. We did the Pistons Magic last time when the Pistons beat them in Detroit, and the Magic got off to such a dope start. And I was like, why is everyone talking crap about this team? And then they fell off the cliff. Opposite this time around. They were turning the ball over in the beginning. They just looked terrible, and then all of a sudden it kind of just flipped. I think Anthony Black coming in changed the game for me personally. I thought his defensive intensity, changing the game, getting steals, being aggressive on the offensive end as well. Jalen Suggs did not have a good first half, did not have a good go-around in the first quarter. I think Black comes in, he kind of settled things down, and then Bane got really hot. And it's interesting because the Desmond Bane we saw in Memphis was someone who kind of just chilled on the perimeter, shot a lot of threes. He did take the ball to hoop. It wasn't like he didn't have that in his bag. But today, everything, for the most part, that we saw from Desmond Bane was going to the hole and finishing off glass. I was joking in the beginning, but no, seriously, like that's what it was all day today. Like floater in the glass, one-legged shot off the glass. Like everything was just in the paint, taking it to the hoop. The Magic got comfortable. They were able to slow the Pistons down. And this was the first game I saw from the Pistons this year where they got slowed down into a half-court game, and there was a lot of ISO. And I don't think it was like because they decided to go ISO. When you have Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black in the game, and the refs are calling the game the way they were, and that's a whole other conversation. I thought the refs were weird game by the refs.
Weird game.
I think both teams had beef.
Yep.
But Anthony Black and Jalen Suggs, over the top off of off-ball screens with Duncan Robinson. The Magic played fantastic defense, guarding screens off the ball. Whenever the Pistons had split action, they would switch. They were communicating, and that didn't really allow the Pistons to really have anything outside of Cade Cunningham go cook whoever's guarding you, and he did. I mean, Cade had a really good game, and there were times where he got fouled too. I thought that the Magic got away with some fouls. I thought on the other end, the Pistons got away with some fouls too. It was a weird officiated game. But I thought overall it was a very playoff-like type atmosphere type game. Magic go on the road, and I think a very impressive victory, especially when the Pistons have a 10-0 run at the end of the fourth to tie the game, and all the momentum is going towards Detroit. They could have easily folded, but Franz Wagner comes up huge with the and one, and the Magic never looked back. It was a great game to watch. I enjoyed this game thoroughly.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. Let me see. How should I start this? It was, because I don't want to focus too much on the refs, but these two teams play a very physical style of defense, so they're hard to ref.
Yeah.
I see a lot of other fan bases complain about these two teams, but they play really great defense. Like the first half, I would even say that the first quarter, first half was tight because the defense was so tight from both teams, and you get that through the course of the game, and the refs kind of quote unquote allowing them to play. Like it becomes what it is. So I'm gonna take that and put that to the side. Desmond Bane having 37 points and not hitting a 3-pointer.
Never thought I'd see the day.
It's amazing. I remember when he was in Memphis, they made a concerted effort to have him play point guard during summer league, so he would work on his ball handling. That was one thing I remember that, and because they wanted him to expand his game. And today we saw that the benefits of that, because it wasn't it wasn't just like I'm just gonna stand on the perimeter, catch and shoot. Like he did so much more. Like he became he was their main focus on offense because he was so aggressive going downhill, getting to the rim, finding angles, and like you said, it's a joke, but using the glass to score a lot of points and just being a consistent scorer for them throughout the course of the game. The Magic plays so fast. There were so many times Detroit would score, and before I'd be like, okay, I'm trying to like assess what happened. The Magic already down the court scoring, like or throwing the ball, and even if it's a missed layup, just very very fast paced with your tempo, even on makes or misses. Which I think that's something they still have to continue, like you said, when Paolo gets back. I love their guard rotation with Anthony Black, even with Jones, who hasn't necessarily been playing well for them, but you know what Tyus Jones is capable of as a point guard. But having Black, who's been very kind of having a most improved type year, just been very consistent off the bench for them, and having Suggs, who you know what you're gonna get from him defensively. Just a great guard rotation from them, and then now you have Bane. After he hit that game winner, he finally like you said, he was like, okay, this is why they brought me here.
Yeah.
he's been amazing. On Detroit's side, Cade played like Cade in terms of like being a triple double threat. They just felt like the slower team in comparison. And Pistons games I've watched, it's never been the case. Like they look their best when you're moving the ball, when you're in tempo. Your half court offense is does work in terms of your pick and rolls, lob plays, down screens for shooters usually works, but they were missing a lot of open shots. I'll say that they missed Tobias Harris and Duncan Robinson missed a bunch of open shots, but they just felt like the slower team when I was watching them against the Magic. When I was like, that's not the Pistons team I'm used to watching.
Yeah.
But their defensive intensity was there, but it wasn't enough. After they got down, it felt like they were just playing from behind the whole time. Even when they came back with a 10-0 run, it just felt like they were playing from behind the whole time. And surprisingly, at the end of the game, I was surprised that they weren't able to get a rebound. I've never seen the Pistons you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the rebounding team. They're the rebounding team when it comes to it. So that affected them too. Some positives I liked. I just like seeing Jaden Ivey on the floor, even though he didn't have
He didn't play well, man. I think Jenkins should be playing over him right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, probably because
Jenkins got burned today. It's not like he wasn't on the court, but until Jaden fully gets, I don't know.
I think this is his fourth game back.
Yeah,
this is his fourth game back.
Yeah,
so he's still working back.
Jenkins was so big for them. I mean, when everyone out, he basically, was I wouldn't say a star, but he's somebody who showed up, and everyone was just kind of like, who is this guy? Bro?
Yeah.
He deserves minutes in a rotation. He does, and he got minutes today, but. Yeah, I don't want to knock Jaden Ivey, but the minutes he had today with Karis LeVert were bad. They were bad. Yeah.
They were bad. I mean, maybe they figure out a rotation where they can get them all on the floor at the same time. They're all those guards are capable with playing with Cade. It's just now you have more players that you wanna play, but a shortage of minutes. You run into that when it comes to the Pistons now, and Jaden Ivey coming back from a broken leg, it's tough. You need to play to get back in rhythm.
He's gonna be fine, and I don't say that Jaden isn't good. I just mean in a sense where it's just you have this player in Jenkins who's been balling. You can bring Jaden back slowly. The minutes should have been reversed to me. If that makes any sense.
I mean, I feel like they did bring it. I feel like they did bring it back. They did.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, because Jaden was a starter. I mean, it's not like he's getting the minutes. I get what you're saying, but
and also but then I'll say the reason why Jenkins was getting minutes was also Karis LeVert was out. Other players were out. They basically have, if not your whole squad back right now, with Ron Holland, Javonte Green. I'm looking at the box score now. Yeah, they have. It looks like they have basically everybody back. If I'm missing a player, I apologize, Pistons Nation. But yeah, they got to figure out that rotation. But they also got to get back to getting stops and pushing the tempo. Pistons look so much better when they do that because you have bigs that run the floor well. Even Jalen Duren has the ability to grab the ball for rebound and push the ball.
He did today. You don't do that. He took it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so you have that. So they got to get that back, especially facing a team like this. But the point you made, this felt like a playoff game. This felt like This felt like game 2 in a series of like 7 games. Like it felt like a playoff game. The intensity was there. Um, the reffing was weird.
Roughing was
So
weird. It was
the
very
reffing
weird.
was weird,
And that's
man.
not to excuse anything. But
Yeah.
I thought the Pistons played a weird game too. Like their transition defense to start the game was phenomenal, and then it
Yep.
got bad. And then also, I don't understand why it took JB Bickerstaff till like midway to the fourth quarter to trap Desmond Bane on a pick and roll. They were in drop the whole time, and all Desmond Bane would do was go off the pick, work his way into the paint, bank shot. I mean, he did it to you all game. Like, why? If he's doing that all game, he has 30 just doing that specifically. Why are you playing drop? You're dropping so much, you're allowing him to just have these open bank shots. It just didn't really make sense to me. They started trapping him at the end, and the Pistons' point of attack defense got very aggressive at the end, and that's why they were able to turn the game and almost win it. That's the Pistons that we know.
Yep.
We talk a lot about the Pistons' offense and how it looks different this year and how Duran's turning the corner and there's different options in the half court, but this team makes its bread and butter on the defensive end. They're a
Defensive end,
physical
yep.
team, point of attack defenders. They have rim protection. They kind of lost themselves a little. I think the Magic playing as fast as they did maybe got to them for a little bit. It's easy to play good transition at the beginning of the game when you have fresh legs, but when you have to play it over and over and over again, you're switching in and out of lineups and having them communicate. Maybe it broke them down a little bit. But overall, I thought it was a great game to watch. I thought Cade was phenomenal. He missed that free throw down the stretch, but was able to get a good enough miss to get a shot at the end.
Yeah.
Good defense by the Magic there. And again, the offensive rebounding was kind of surprising. I think a lot of it was also like just the luck of the bounce. Like a couple of shots, like hit the back.
Yeah,
rim,
they're long
travel,
shots,
like,
long
yeah,
shots,
yeah.
long rebounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Sometimes
happens.
it just
But
happens.
it was just like offensive rebound, offensive. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that usually doesn't happen with the
Yeah.
with the Pistons. Yeah, I would love to see the Magic back with Paolo, see what that looks like now, especially when it seems like they have figured out a style of play and like how they want to push the tempo, how they want to play defensively.
Yeah.
We
I
all
think
we all know how good Paolo is, so we just want to see if it has to me. Everybody it's been making that there's that comparison of like maybe needs to get rid of one or the other,
No.
and it feels like the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown thing that people did for years. Those two can play together.
Yeah, they can. I think Paulo just needs to be a little more aware. Like again, like the first game we recapped with the Pistons and Magic. In the beginning, Paulo was getting to the paint, driving and kicking, touching the paint, kicking the ball out. I think he needs to do more of that. I'm not saying don't be aggressive, but he gets into these modes where he's just kind of tunnel vision, and all he does is just go to the hoop and just throw it at the brim.
Tough shots, yeah. He takes
Yeah,
a bunch
he
of
can't-
tough shots, yeah.
If he can just kind of adjust to the way the Magic have been playing now, play fast but play smarter and be more of a playmaker, I think it raises their ceiling. And I think Paulo can do that. I think he just kind of falls in love with his jump shot, takes difficult jump shots in the half court when he doesn't really need to. But you saw at the end of the game, they were running an inverted pick and roll with Franz at the top and Anthony Black. And honestly, they didn't get good shots the last few possessions. It was a long Suggs 3. They got an offensive rebound, a long Franz 3, almost turned the ball over, and Franz had to throw a shot up. I wouldn't say they got lucky to win the game, but their last 2-3 offensive possessions were brutal.
They were rough.
Brutal.
They were really rough.
Yeah,
brutal. They were really rough.
And it was good defense by the Pistons too. But I think having Paolo there, where you could maybe run it through the post, or run a pick and roll with Paolo and Suggs. I'm surprised Suggs didn't have the ball in his hands. To me, he's your best ball handler. I know Franz is probably your go-to guy in that scenario, but run a pick and roll with Franz, or give it to him in the post and run it through the post, or something. I just think
maybe they got overly worried about the trapping.
it
I
could
think
be.
that
But also
sometimes-
Desmond Bane, another one. Like Desmond Bane has 37.
Yeah.
Like why doesn't he have the ball in his hand? So I think the way they ran, to me, it was just weird running like an inverted pick and roll with Anthony Black setting the screen. Like it's just okay. Like I think you can do better.
yeah, no. I mean, because you want the smaller guard on Franz.
Yeah, I get that.
You want the smaller guard on Franz, but yeah, why not run it with like a Bane or
yeah.
yeah, but
And you have Franz at the top. I mean, I guess listen, Franz Wagner is the best player on the floor for the Magic at the time. Even though Desmond Bane's having the best game, you could argue Franz is their best player. I don't mind having the ball in his hands. To me, I wouldn't have run that type of play for him, and it didn't work. They just kind of got bailed out by offensive rebounding, for being honest. But listen, it was a good game, man. The Magic, they're gonna be around. They got a slow start, off to a slow start. A lot of people were kind of, jumping the shark with this team with their takes, saying that this wasn't going to work out, but Desmond Bane has fit in nicely. And before you know it, the Magic are 12-8, and they look like they're in the playoff race for the Eastern Conference after 20 games. But that's going to do it for tonight. The Magic beat the Pistons 112-109. Thanks for watching. Kwab and I will be back soon for another game recap. Our power rankings are out, causing a little bit of controversy because we were,
As always.
it is what it is. But let us know what you think. Go check those out. Let us know where you think we went wrong, where we went right, all that good stuff. Kwab and I, we got to do a regular episode. We haven't done a regular episode in a while, so we'll get back on track with that. We'll be back with game recaps on Monday, and then Dime After Dark. Kwab, I don't know if you know this. It's Thunder and Warriors Tuesday, Dime After Dark. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good time.
I might not be there for that one.
Oh, it might just be me in the chat.
Yeah, it might just be you. We'll see in the chat. Possible.
All right, you can follow Dime over at the Dime NBA. We'll see you next time for another episode of Dime. Peace.